Welcome to Stompbox TV, I'm Richard.
I'm Alex.
And we are surrounded by the brand new Ibanez AZ range.
Look at them all.
They are stunning and they're not what you'd expect from Ibanez. These are high-end guitars. We've got, you have some Indonesian made ones.
I certainly do.
And I have a couple of Japanese made. There are more than 4 in the range, but we thought 4 was probably enough. We couldn't hold more.
No.
Between the two of us, we counted up and we have 4 hands.
We are only human.
After all. Okay, right. So what is the difference? Because they look reasonably similar.
What is the difference, Richard?
Well, there's 4 main differences. 5 if you include price, because these are all really, really well-spec'd guitars, and the price points, yeah, they're not budget guitars, but for the spec you're getting and the playability you're getting, they are incredibly good value.
A lot of guitar for the money, isn't it?
They are. Professional quality, but the Japanese ones here are costing roughly half as much again as what you're holding there.
Gotcha.
So what do you get? For starters, if I can hold this, I won't even do it. The saddles here on the Japanese guitars are titanium. What you have is stainless steel, which is fine. Titanium is better, but absolutely fine. The nut I have in the Japanese ones here, bone nuts.
Okay.
And you have tusk nuts, again, very good nuts. You then have, the big difference is the body wood. So Japanese, these are alder bodies, and yours are basswood bodies.
Okie dokie.
And finally, aside from where they're made, obviously, these all have roasted maple necks, which are really beautiful. They really feel played in. The roasting process gives you that, and they also look very nice. There is a additional treatment on the Japanese ones, which goes way over my head because it takes nitrogen out and makes them more stable and gives them a better tone, and it's pretty much like aging the wood.
If you watch Terminator, you might get an idea of the complexity.
But it is, I think they call it S-Tech. The S-Tech process, the roasting process, is different on the Japanese version. So they are the main differences kind of on paper. The other thing I would say, and particularly with these 2 single coil guitars, it probably doesn't come across too well on camera, but the flame on the Japanese version is, I mean, it's one of the best flames I've ever seen. It's so 3D.
It's gorgeous.
Just the way it catches the light. It's so much better than the Indonesian one, and the Indonesian one is lovely. So that's not putting down the Indonesian one, it's just you can see which one is a more expensive guitar as soon as you put them together. And that may not come across fully on camera, but in the flesh there is no doubt.
But I'd say it's like, going through all those specs that you've just said there, even though they're different, and the Japanese ones has slightly improved things like the bone nut and the, titanium saddles?
Titanium saddles, yeah.
It's not like the Indonesian ones have worse options, they're just different.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm gleaming from it.
Yeah, for sure. Whether you go Japanese or whether you go Indonesian, you have the choice of 2 pickup configurations, which is either double humbucker or the humbucker with the 2 single coils. Depending on the pickup configuration, you'll also either get a 22 fret neck on the single coil version or a 24 fret on the double humbucker. There is a switch you will notice there between the volume and the tone pot on every single one of these guitars. Now,
I'd point to it, but I think we'd lose a lot of precious guitars.
we can show them right now. There you go. See?
Magic for television.
And what does this do? Well, this is something that's, depending on the guitar, called Dynamics 9 or Dynamics 10. You will know, or you will have heard of coil taps before, which will give you single coil sounds out of a humbucker. A coil tap, some people refer to as a coil split, which is wrong, because what it doesn't do...
It's wrong, guys. It's wrong.
Don't do it. What it doesn't do is split the coil. So a normal coil tap that's referred to, or coil split, both coils are in operation at the same time. What we have here is a true coil split. So we can actually take out, well, make the humbucker into a complete, proper, true single coil. There will be no technical difference between this and a single coil.
Brilliant.
So whether you have a double humbucker or you have this one here, you are getting proper single coil sounds rather than something that kind of approaches single coils.
So I'm just going to die here.
That's all right, if you could do it quietly. So whether you have single coils or humbuckers, whether you're Indonesian, well not are Indonesian, whether your guitar is Indonesian or Japanese, you have a brand new Seymour Duncan pickup as well, whose name escapes me, but it's on the screen for you now.
And the pickups are the same across all the guitars, aren't they?
Yeah, with the obvious exception of the single coil or humbucker.
Sorry.
That's it. They're both. All the guitars have the vintage style trem. We haven't got the trem arms on here, but they all have the vintage style trem. So that's it. We have 9 different sounds in this single coil version. We have 10 different sounds in the double humbucker. We're not going to play through all of those, but what we're going to do is just give you a bit of a flavour for some of the sounds you can get. We'll pick up maybe the Indonesian double humbucker and the Japanese, I keep calling them single coil, but it's the HSS version. So we'll give you a flavour of that, play through a few different sounds on that, see what you think. But they are really genuine. When you've got them in the hand, they feel amazing. They just feel right.
They really do, and they don't necessarily feel like you'd think an Ibanez would feel.
No, not at all. If you're someone who says, oh, Ibanez skinny necks, not that this is a baseball bat by any stretch of the imagination, it's just the right size. This is something you could turn up to any gig with, jazz or metal, it doesn't really matter, it's going to do everything. And that's exactly what they've really designed it for. They've consulted with a lot of pro players about exactly what they want, what works well on their guitars, and this really does feel like a guitar you'd want to play.
Yeah, it's a player's guitar, isn't it? I'd say it's an all-rounder for the pros.
Definitely. Well, without further ado, I'll hand you over to Alex, who'll play you out with some lovely playing, I hope.
I hope so.
But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. bye.